Hey guys, Mattraq1. I had some positive feedback on the last series, so I've been asked to do another one. This time we've got an actual hand replayer, so hopefully we can clean up the presentation a little bit. I'd like to try something a little different, try and be a little bit original, and that's where my break it down with me comes into play. Basically, I was trying to think of a way to get the viewers involved and incorporate a little bit of a feel of a coaching session through these videos. If it's popular, it's something I can continue doing. If not, it's something I tried. So basically, at the end of my last series, I had asked viewers what they'd like to see in future videos, and one viewer had come up with the idea of me trying to find awkward river spots and really ranging opponents. This series somewhat came from that idea in trying to figure out how to implement it in an effective way. Basically, if we had just shown random tough river spots with no context, that information would be pretty much worthless because it's so read dependent and dependent on villains. So basically, how does this work? We're going to start by reviewing a hand history to get the context and the player tendencies that we can use to decipher the hand later. We're going to pick a hand to show, and I'm not going to talk about it. I'm just simply going to play through the hand and freeze it at a certain point in the hand. That's where the video segment will end. And what I hope will happen is we can get the viewers to discuss in the comments section their idea of the range of the villain's hands and how that range evolves over time, and then pick the way they would, let me think what I'm saying, they would pick the appropriate play versus that range. So you're going to break down the villain's range as the hand progresses, and then at the point where the video freezes, it's kind of like, what would you do here, or what is the best way to proceed with the hand, and hopefully that'll get some discussion going. After a few days or whatever, another video will be posted with the video of me breaking down that hand, and this is pre-recorded prior to any of the comments, so I think it'll be a good experience for everybody to kind of see what I was thinking at the time on my own breaking down a hand, and what the viewers come up with, and see where it goes from there. Then hopefully I'll do a few of these at first just to get it going, and like I said, if it's popular, it's something we can keep doing. If not, move on to something else. Alright guys, and we're going to jump right in and start this hand history. We're going to try to go through it a little quickly and get to the hand in question. He 3X's, we fold. Min raising, pocket threes, he calls, and on this wet flop, I do not recommend c-betting all that often. Now, this villain, we don't have the stats up yet. At the end of the video, I will put his stats up to help you analyze the hand, but he's check raising at 35%. I do know that I do c-bet here, and he check raises and I fold. I've already looked through this hand, so it may not be as enlightening as it was in my last video when I kind of figured it out as we went along, since I've already seen it. Against this villain, I definitely don't think I should be c-betting this flop, or anybody should. So he's been 3xing, and this is not the first match against this villain either. I wanted to pick a villain that was a little bit more straightforward, so that we could hopefully break the hand down easier. Okay, well, that helps. All right. Standard 3-bet, he folds, raised, folds, and you notice he's 3xing here. It's a tendency that is unusual. Hopefully we can get through this. Alright, tens, he checks, bang 30 into 80, he folds. He's folding to, where is it fold c-bet? He's folding to like 31% of c-bets, so I don't mind smaller bets, especially when he's check raising as often as he is. It's good enough to defend. Flopping open-ended. Probably bet. I like a bigger bet here. I have started using bigger bets. When people check back and I'm going to bet two streets, I use bigger bets just it makes it harder for them to hero call you too light. when your value hands are also that size. I'm talking if you make it like 80 instead of 60, bet 2/3 pot on the turn and a larger bet on the river. It gives them a worse price to like check back a 10 and call 2 streets, or even say they have like pocket 8s and they check back and want to call 2 streets. It gives them a really bad price to do it, and if they do it, it's really easy to exploit by just betting like a 10 here. Like if they check back 2 8s and you bet a 10 and they're calling you down that light when you're making your bets bigger, it's a much bigger mistake than it is if I'm just betting half pot here and say half pot on the river. So then again, that it can be villain dependent, but as a standard, I like having it a little different. Again, doing the lead that I was doing last time. Halfway, checks, bet small, calls, check. I probably shut down most of the time on the turn here. He's got such a high check raise frequency that a lot of times I'm probably just checking back my likely best hand on the turn. What probably happened here is I'm betting small just to kind of set my own price for the river and get the showdown. Alright, defends, he checks, I check. Again, he's check raising extremely high frequency, so I'm not going too crazy with my c-bets. Even if I don't have showdown value, I like delayed c-bets versus people who check raise a lot. Alright, we defend the jack 9, we lead, he raises, and we fold. It looks like I'm doing a lot of leading versus this guy too. I thought it'd be a little more straightforward. I'm trying to see if he, I don't know, I got my stats up a weird way. I don't have my actual Hold'em HUD up, so I have to use different stats, and I'm not exactly sure how often he's raising my donks. So, now in order for me to want to do this, I do this versus villains that I've seen people. I have history versus this guy in this match, so obviously if he's raise calling like any ace there and his suited kings, I mean I've seen villains do that. That's definitely not standard to just open shove there. 4-bet shove ace 10, defend the 10-8, check bet fold. Alright, he raises, we defend 7-8 diamonds, we flop the world, we lead into him. If he raised, I'm probably just jamming my equity. And I do not like checking here. That check is pretty bad. I don't think he's ever stabbing that river. He's got a ton of showdown value. Fold. Okay. He at 30-60 min raises. We defend the. I'm sorry. 30-60 we min raise and with the queen 10. Or wait, what's going on? There's 2 buttons. All right, we're gonna have to go back. I don't know what just happened. Okay, so he min raised. We call. Okay, I don't know why there's showing 2 buttons. So check, check. It's hard to rep 2 barreling here, so I mean it's hard to rep like a 5. I don't mind just checking it down. Fold. Alright, min raise, calls, checks, betting 70. Probably just fold. Wow, it's taking longer to get to the hand that I want to get to. Bet, fold. Alright, and this is the hand that I'm going to play through and we can discuss in the next video. So I'm not going to do any commentary for this hand, and hopefully we can have some discussions about it. Alright, let me go back. Shit. Min raise, he calls. Flops king jack 9, rainbow. He checks. I check. Turns a 7 of clubs. Foot and flush out there. He checks. I bet 120 and he check raises to 360. And stop. Alright, so So I'm going to leave you guys with this slide right here with some discussion points to talk about in the comments section, as well as the villain's HUD stats that can help you create your ranges and his tendencies, and hopefully we'll get some good discussion out of this.